Hey, James, I got a question.
Hit me.
This is off script, but I know at the combine I saw guys get traded. You saw Lyman get traded. You saw David Montgomery get traded. What in the hell happens to Mad Max?
Mad Max, baby. The Condor,
Bro.
as our boy Baldy
He
labeled him.
has showed out and said, I ain't coming back.
Yeah. Don't you love his social media posts right now, Steve? Where he's like, look, watch me hoop. Watch me. I'm at the facility every day.
Box.
I'm working out. I'm like, he's playing all the sports. I think, honestly, I do think there is something calculated to that. And I was talking to somebody about it the other day, going, his health is tied into him getting moved. And he wants to show everybody, like, I'm coming along from this meniscus pretty quick here now. Like, don't be concerned about me coming back and being the Maxx Crosby we all know and love as one of the best players in this league. I think there's a very good chance that Maxx Crosby is moved, Steve, before the start of the league year next week.
Bro,
and the main reason for that is this, Steve. If you want to move Max, and I'm reading the tea leaves to my conversation with John Spytek, their general manager at the Combine. One, he told me we need to be very sober with where we are as an organization, i.e. this is going to take a minute to rebuild.
He literally
said, he said sober. He said we got to be very sober.
I don't like hearing that. Sober is...
Sober and the Combine don't go together very well, but yeah. He said we got to be very sober with where we're at, which he's telling me we're 2 years away, probably, from really getting things where we want. He told me directly, Clint's coming here wholeheartedly knowing he does not have a roster like he had in Seattle. Like, he's telling me on multiple occasions, we need players. We need a lot of players. And
So hold on, though. So that means patience. If you already know you're 2 years away from being competitive, that's patience. I ain't talking about championships, playoffs. Competitive, where you have a chance to win a game.
yeah. I think they win maybe a couple of games, yeah.
But no.
You're
I'm
right.
just saying they have an opportunity to win some games that they probably shouldn't win because they have they've built up their roster. That roster is unfortunately it needs to be revamped. They need to add some places. They need to remove some people. And then obviously, I give them a lot of credit to be able to take care of their veterans and say, hey, look, you're not angry that we're doo-doo. We know it. You know it. He's just allowing Max to say, hey, man, I'm getting older. I don't need this. I want to win.
Yeah, and he's about to be 29, I think it is. And I think they want Max. Obviously, you want good players. But if Max doesn't want to be there, you pivot and you say, okay, well, we do need players. We can get a haul for this, this dynamic player within this league.
What's a haul, though?
I'll get to it. But the reason why that haul might be its biggest right now, which is why we're talking about this, is because you need to maximize your leverage. And their leverage, the best time to do it would be when? Before the league opens, everybody has their money, everybody has assets, and it's before they start doing anything with either one of those, right? The league year opens, you can sign Trey Hendrickson, you could sign, Jalen Phillips, other edge rushers. But once teams start doing that and they panic, they don't know if they can get Max, then it eliminates suitors, right? So trying to get it done and pitting these teams against each other before the league year starts makes the most sense to get the most back. Now, what would that haul essentially be?
Oh, yes.
I don't think it's a Micah deal. Micah's 4 years younger. I think that plays a part into it.
Yeah, it does.
But the other part, and I hate to say this, and
this
is the same way you are, Steve. And teams were like, sadly, I'm saying this to me. Max plays every down at 100 miles an hour, right?
Oh, my gosh.
I know. And they go, okay, well, if he's done that for 8 seasons, how many great seasons will I get? Because he puts a lot of wear and tear in his body with the way that he plays, the style in which he plays. There's certain guys, say this, edge taking a run play off, kind of just
allegedly.
That's not Max. So there were a couple teams that talked to the Combine, like, man, I hate to say it, but you do have to put that into account. How many years do I get great Max? Because he's been great Max for 8 years in the way that he plays. But at the same time, I do think they can play this. And right now, they're not openly shopping him because they don't have to. They're just listening to everything. And in the position they're in, you don't put a number on it, right? You don't say, this is what, you just go, what do you got? What do you got? To everybody. Hey, what do you got? And I think...
You reveal your cards
exactly.
when you're looking for it. And I love everything that you're saying. But let's cut to the chase. Give me the cheddar. What are some... where would be some good fits for Max, and then good fits for teams that would be able to maximize and make sure that acquiring him this year, kind of like, Michael was with the Green Bay Packers, that, man, he takes you over the top.
Yeah, and it was, right? I mean, it was big time. I was at that game that he got hurt, and he took that defense to another level, and I think Max can do that for sure. You have to have the cap space, which obviously that's flexible in a lot of places, and I'll get to that with one of these teams, and you have to have the picks to be able to do it. I think the Bears are a very legitimate landing spot, for sure. What happens, Steve? What do teams do when they get real close? What is it when they get real close to tasting a bite of the apple? They go, oh, we got to get back there. We got to get back there.
They go all in.
And they go all in. You're exactly right. So who are the positions that always put a team all in over the top? Edge rushers, closers, right? They close things out in the fourth quarter. And so they got the 25th pick in the first round. Is that enough? They probably, you can always give a player. But edge is definitely a spot that, they've done a deal before in the past. Remember Khalil Mack? That deal between these two teams, but they do feel like they're kind of right there. This kind of gives me the vibe of like when the Rams went and got like Von Miller to try to push them over the top. They did that. Speaking of Von Miller, I think the Bills are a legitimate spot. Brandon Beane has done this twice now, right? He did it with Von Miller. He did it with Joey Bosa. They have the 26th pick there in Buffalo. Do they want to give up their first rounder? And maybe has to be something else with where they're picking, the same with Chicago, to push them over the hump. Now, they do have a defensive coordinator. Jim Leonard comes in, changes things. But I think that's a team that you certainly should keep an eye on. And this is the one that I heard at the Combine. Do not sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. You know why, Steve? They do not have a second-day pick, but they got 2 ones. Do they want to give 12 to the Raiders for Maxx Crosby?
Let me tell you something right now.
They got 12 and 20.
You get Maxx Crosby.
I'm waiting for this.
What's his cap number?
I'm waiting for this. His cap number, it's actually a very tradable contract. It really actually is.
So let me ask you, if you trade for Maxx Crosby, do you extend him?
I don't think
give him a new contract that's favorable to your team? Because his contract for the Las Vegas Raiders it hits the Las Vegas Raiders, but when you get a new contract or an extension for the Cowboys, it hits yours differently. So,
True.
every team's checkbook or salary cap is not created all equal.
Very true. Very true. I know that they can move a lot of money around. Dak's contract allows them to kind of do any of those things.
Okay. So let me
CD can do that. Your bigger deals, you can move stuff around, obviously.
So walk me through this. So
because they are in cap hell right now.
CeeDee Lamb's balling. You got that. Dak Prescott, you Williams, you go ahead and re-sign him. Kind of shows the devalue of the running back position, but yet you depended on Williams a lot. But congratulations to him. He probably should have got some more money, but so you have that. You get Max, and Max getting paid, and then you extend him, but you tag George Pickens. I find this troubling. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. I've seen everyone have comments and watch the episode. Got a ton of impressive and inspiring messages from people saying that my sit down with Cam Newton on 4th and 1 was exceptional. It gave me an opportunity to really take ownership on my behavior as an older veteran player, but also it gave a great example of the work that I've been able to do over the years to really understand how my mental health has and will affect me as I get older and then through life altogether. The network that BetterHelp has is up to 30,000 credentialed therapists, and they allow you to work around your schedule. There's not a lot of counselors who do Zoom and also work around your schedule, so you can eat lunch and have a salad and also get your mental health ready and get back to work. BetterHelp is helping a ton of people. It's helped me, and hopefully it'll help you. Visit betterhelp.com/89 to get 10% off your first month. That's better, HELP.com/89. I find this troubling.
I agree with you. If you're George Pickens, you're irate, and that's probably an understatement.
Allegedly.
I think they believe, and I thought that they were going to like tag George and potentially see if they could flip it, and then they get more picks, and then the Max deal is even easier because you still, you reload with some picks. But I got the indication that they are not moving George at all. They think they can have and I think it's possible, the best offense in football with CD and Ferguson and George, and CD moves all over the place, and George plays on the outside. I think they're cool with it, Steve. And you know what? Tell me a time that a distraction, that a circus.
You see my Urkel shirt? Look at my Urkel shirt.
Oh man, Jerry's gonna say, "Did I do that to him?" But he's gonna say, "Yes, I did. I just tagged you. That's what I did." But listen, when has a player's frustration ever bothered Jerry? Right? When has the training camp distraction of a player not showing up ever bothered Jerry? I think they know that George is going to still show up for his $27-28 million on the tag, and they think he won't hold out during the season. I was told that David Mulugheta, who represents both Micah Parsons and George Pickens, is not an issue. It was more of a player's issue between these two guys. They're very different. Micah kind of made things obviously a little bit more difficult. I don't know if they were entirely David. I think that part of the negotiating isn't terrible. But the funny part is the lack of talk of an extension after this tag with George is the interesting part. Are they cool with him just playing on the tag?
Who's they?
The Cowboys. I'm not saying George is cool with it. Are the Cowboys fine with it?
The Cowboys can be cool with it all they want. How is George going to interpret and absorb?
I mean, I hate to say it. What are his options, Steve? He either makes $28 million next year or he makes $0.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that math is real simple.
That's a simple math. That's what Jerry says.
It's simple math.
Can you imagine Jerry saying it to him?
We got humans that complicate everything.
Big time. And you know this from that position, like, you want security. You want a multi-year deal. You want, you want to have all of that.
Especially when your running mate has securry.
Your running
quarterback has security.
Your quarterback's top 3 paid. Your running mate's top 3 paid.
Yeah.
Guys are making money. But the thing that could be crazy, I know it's a roundabout way to say it, but you could, in essence, have traded Micah Parsons, and in return got Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, and Maxx Crosby.
You want to hear something that's crazy? Their secondary just got 10 times better.
How long do I got to cover?
Right, and that's a smart play. So I like that idea. I just not sure how it's gonna be well received throughout the receiver room.
Totally, and I would also say I would put New England in that group too. As a possible spot. He thinks the world of Mike Vrabel. New England
Patriots for Maxx Crosby?
Crosby thinks the world of Maxx Crosby.
I thought you were talking about George Pickens.
No. Crosby thinks the world of Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. I like Vrabel too.
I do too. Saw him a lot at the Combine. Vrabel's got a lot of opinions on other head coaches, I'll say that. But this will be interesting, right? I mean,
Vrabel got a lot of opinions about a lot of things.
A lot of things. He certainly does. All right, I'll finish with this. If Maxx Crosby goes to the Cowboys, is this the number 1 selling jersey by a mile?
Absolutely.
In the NFL?
You know what that star does.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
And with Max, like, oh, good grief. And Max gets a cut of that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Let's go.